I went to Japan last month and loved every bit of it. The food, the nature, the temples, the hikes, the stationaries, and the gadgets. But even the accommodations I stayed at overnight were their own little adventure. I stayed at 3 different kinds of capsule hotels in Japan, a typical small coffin-sized one, a medium one with a motorized bed, and a large capsule themed like an airport cabin. All of them which I think are perfect budget hotels for the solo traveler. Hi, I'm David, and here's a quick tour of a couple capsule hotels I stayed at in Japan last month. So if you're not familiar with the idea of capsule hotels, the first one is the typical type you'll find around major cities in Japan. It's pretty much the shape of a telephone booth rotated on the side. I'm a pretty small person at 5'7", but laying in this unit, I can touch the ends with my feet and hands, and can also just barely sit up without touching the ceiling if I wanted to read a book. Looking at the other side of the capsule, there isn't much else in here other than how you get inside. There's no lock to your unit, instead you're just separated with a pull-down curtain, so you're not completely noise isolated from your neighbors, and you'll probably want to wear some earplugs to block noise like others snoring. While for some people this might feel a little too small, I never really felt too claustrophobic or cramped in here. My bigger complaint is that it gets a little warm and stuffy inside here with only these tiny little air vents in the corner that barely move any air. You also have some other basic essentials in here like TV, clock, power, light switch, and a spare phone you can borrow to browse on while you stay. Other than that, it's pretty bare bones in here. I wasn't allowed to film in this hotel, but outside your unit you'll find in the common area things like washroom and shower, as well as a locker for storing your stuff. So that's capsule number 1, the smallest of the bunch. I think it's a unique experience that most people should try at least once, but I wouldn't stay in one of these for more than a couple days. Next up is a larger, more modern take on a capsule hotel, appropriately called the Millennials. Being slightly wider with a normal height ceiling, this is a big step up in space. The unique thing with this capsule is the motorized bed that folds up into a sofa. All of this is controlled with an iPhone, everything from the bed, lights, and ventilation. The RFID key to the elevator is also stuck on the phone, so you'll need to carry this around with you even if you leave the hotel for the day. Just like the other capsule hotels, you're separated here with a pull-down curtain, and there's room underneath the bed to store your luggage with a small safe on the side for your valuables. You'll also have other units right beside you, but the walls are pretty thick between the units, but again, you might still need some earplugs. Other than that, there are basics like hanger for your clothes, mirror, and shelf in the back to store more stuff. I enjoyed this capsule hotel and would stay here again. The beds were comfortable, and there's plenty of room here for me to store my stuff and enjoy a comfortable night of sleep. But the next capsule I stayed at, called First Cabin, really starts to cross the line feeling more like a traditional room. These larger first-class units have space to stand and walk around, which I really started to appreciate after staying in the other 2 capsules. Each of the units are built in these futuristic-looking cubes that are designed to fit that airplane cabin theme of this hotel. Half of the room is occupied by the bed, and the other half leaves room for a small table and room to access your storage underneath the bed. This extra room means you can easily change your clothes, go through your luggage, and leave stuff out, all in your own private space. They even provide you PJs to wear at night to really give you that airplane first class experience here. But other than that, there's not much else to the unit. Some controls beside your bed for lights and a clock, a TV if you want to watch some shows, and hangers on the side to leave everything spaced out. Overall, the extra space with this type of capsule was the most comfortable for me. While you still have to deal with potentially noisy neighbors, and these beds are pretty stiff, so just a warning if you don't like firm beds. But I really enjoyed coming back to this room to rest up and plan for my next day in Japan. In the end, I'm really pleased with the accommodation experience in Japan. While the hotel is probably the last thing most people get excited about on their trip, these were really unique experiences that I thoroughly enjoyed and wish were more common around the world, since they are a great low-cost alternative for the solo traveler. Just one of Japan's amazing experiences throughout the day. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. You know what to do, and I'll see you in the next video.